Meteorologist Travis Klineski here. We'll start things off with our weather alerts. We do have a winter weather advisory that will be going into place later on today for our north central Kansas counties, northeast Kansas counties. Starts at noon today. Will continue until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And this is basically because we do have a disturbance moving through the area today that could bring some light snow. But for areas near and south of the Nebraska-Kansas border, there is also the chance we might mix in some light freezing drizzle, and there could be some light icing in those locations, so roads could become slick. The National Weather Service in Hastings debated putting in a kind of a row of counties across southern Nebraska, so kind of watch those areas as well, say around Red Cloud, Superior, Franklin, Elma, over towards Fairbury. Those areas he may also be upgraded to a winter weather advisory later on today. So keep an eye on that, but again, mostly for the threat of some light icing. We have a disturbance that will traverse through the area today. Now, right away this morning, we're already seeing cloudy skies and some patchy areas of fog. Isolated dense fog, but not as much as what we had out there yesterday. Very isolated, mostly to the western counties of the local 4 viewing area, but some periods of some light snow, maybe a little light freezing drizzle out there, especially across the south later this afternoon and continuing this evening. Some periodic snow accumulation out there, kind of wrapping up sometime around or after midnight tonight as that pushes eastward. We could see some accumulating snowfall. We'll talk about that in just a bit. As for tomorrow, then we look at some partial clearing of the skies as we get a brief little warm-up tomorrow. It's not going to be much, but it's about as good as we can get for the next several days to come. Cooler to the east and northeast because I think the clouds are going to stay a little thicker there. Plus, there's a lot of snow on the ground in southeast Nebraska and northern Kansas. The farther west you go, I think the more sun you'll see, warmer temperatures in those locations. But again, after that, the clouds thicken right back up Thursday night, and our next chance of snow is on its tails coming in for Friday and Friday night. So we have these couple of rounds of snow coming in the next couple of days. Today's chance and into tonight may lead us up to about a couple of tenths of accumulation to as much as an inch of snowfall out there. So I'm not expecting a heavy snow event, but at the same time, enough to maybe cover the ground out there. So again, watch for that, plus maybe some slick spots out there, especially in northern Kansas where there's a better chance of some freezing drizzle. We get that break tomorrow, but then again, as we head towards Friday and Friday night, another round of snow. This is a much better chance of bringing accumulating snowfall, but most forecast models are now bringing in a weaker storm system, which would mean maybe not high accumulations of snow. So right now, in my thinking, I'm kind of in that 1 to 3 inch range for most locations. If we see higher amounts, off to the east or southeast would be one area where we maybe see 3 to 4, possibly 5 inches of snowfall. Same thing as you get into far northern Nebraska. Maybe some locations 3, 4, maybe 5 inches of snowfall in those locations. But for the majority of us, I think we're looking at a 1 to 3 inch range heading into the weekend, as most of it falls Friday and Friday night. Should be mostly done by Saturday morning sunrise. If it's still around Saturday morning sunrise, it's going to be in extreme southeast Nebraska. Most of us will be done by midnight Friday night, I think, the way it looks right now. All right, we're going to jump into temperatures around the area for today. Again, a much cooler day. Temperatures will kind of struggle, upper 20s to near 30 degrees up north. Patchy morning fog, and then some afternoon snow that could continue into this evening. A chance of snow out west, but also some areas of fog out there this morning. That's where we've been seeing some of the dense fog in the local areas this morning. But slightly warmer conditions out west, way out west. In fact, Ogallala, Imperial, lower 30s for North Platte and McCook, and around 30 for Lexington and Beaver City. Upper 20s to near 30 in the south. Again, watch for that freezing drizzle closer to the Kansas-Nebraska border. Otherwise, a chance of snow mainly this afternoon, possibly late morning hours. And then an afternoon chance of snow off towards the east. Maybe some freezing drizzle down there in the Republic County, Kansas area, possibly even just north of the Nebraska-Kansas border, looking for mostly upper 20s out towards the east. A brief warm-up tomorrow. And in fact, I'm going to kind of show you what we're talking about for tomorrow. I have 39 for the Tri-Cities. I do want to show you the temps across the rest of the area tomorrow. Cooler to the east and northeast. Again, thicker clouds there, plus there's snow on the ground in southeast Nebraska, northern Kansas. But going out west, we're talking about 40s, perhaps even some 50s closer to the Colorado border. That's a very big exception over the next 7 days here, and probably even beyond that. So we're not going to see much more. So if you live out west, take advantage of what you get out there for tomorrow. Let's go back to that 7-day forecast out there again. Upper 30s to near 40 for the Tri-Cities. a mix of clouds and sun, probably leaning just a little bit more clouds than sun tomorrow. But then the clouds thickening back up Thursday night, that chance of snow rolling in Friday. The best chance will be noon Friday through midnight Friday here in the Tri-Cities. 1 to 3 inches of snow. Now, the good news is with this storm being a little on the weaker side than previously expected, the winds maybe not quite so bad. Still breezy, but I'm thinking maybe kind of just up around 15 miles per hour on Friday, and then Friday night into Saturday maybe 15 to 20 miles per hour. So not terribly bad, enough to maybe blow some of that light snow around. There may be some patchy areas of blowing snow, but I don't think that's going to be a significant issue. So that is the good news. The bad news is we're still getting cold on that backside of the system, but because it is coming in as a weaker system, it's not drawing in as much cold air. Yesterday I had a high of 11 on Saturday. I bumped that up to the upper teens now for Saturday. So that's not nearly as cold. The low is not nearly as cold. I'm going 10 for Saturday morning, Sunday morning 8, and I debated maybe bringing that up to around 10. So not below 0 here in the Tri-Cities area. That said, still looking at colder air in eastern portions of Nebraska for the weekend. I think some places could still drop below 0 in far eastern Nebraska. Wind chills will still be below 0. That said, maybe closer to 10 below. Not as much 20 below or colder in some spots. So again, still going to be cold this weekend, but maybe not quite as cold out there. Sunday, in fact, look at that. I'm bumping that up to 26 degrees. I debated going warmer, but I think with a little snow on the ground, that might hold our temperatures back just a little bit. We try to get back into the lower 30s on Monday, the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday on Monday. But another round of snow looks to come in. Some models have it Monday. Others are holding it off till Tuesday. I'm thinking it's more likely it would be on Monday, especially Monday afternoon into Monday night, wrapping up early on Tuesday morning here. So with that system coming through, we're going to struggle to recover temperature-wise here. Now we're going to kind of quickly go through the last 12 days or so, and then we'll look ahead. So again, you look at the Tri-Cities. Grand Island, again, there was a lot above average to start off January. Then we've been trending colder, but we did get above average yesterday. That's going to change now in the next week plus ahead here. Again, looking at Hastings, we had a little bit of below average here this past weekend, early in the week. We got back above average yesterday, but again, the trend is changing. Same thing for Kearney. Again, our trend will be changing. We had a lot of above average early in the month. As we trended towards the middle of the month, we started to get below average. It was back above average yesterday, but look what is coming again. A lot of below average. Thursday may be our only day that's slightly above average. Otherwise, we're going to be mostly below average. And the way things are kind of trending right now, we're going to get at these periodic shots of cold air similar to what we're seeing this upcoming weekend, but then that's followed up by a little bit of a surge of some slightly milder air with the coldest of the cold still staying to our east. So basically, there's kind of a battle here in the middle part of the country between warm air to our west, cold air to our east, and every once in a while that warm air might win out and give us a day that's a little bit above average, but then we'll drop back below average. So I would say the majority of the next 2 weeks will be below average with a couple of periods here and there where we may get slightly above average, especially if you live out in the western or southwestern portions of Nebraska. That's going to be your best chance of seeing some nicer temperatures over the next couple of weeks. The farther northeast you go and east you go, the colder you're likely going to be. So with that, going to wrap things up here and get ready for my today's show cut-in. So I hope you all do have a wonderful day. Thank you all for hanging in there. It's a long forecast, but there's a lot to talk about. We'll see you all again bright and early on your Thursday morning. Until then, take care and God bless. Bye.